Chapter 3, Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. Article 14, the scope of application and interpretation. All fundamental rights and freedoms specified in this chapter are interpreted to conform to the principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, international covenants on human rights, and international instruments. Article 15, Rights to Life. Every person has the right to life. No person may deprive of his life except as a punishment for a serious criminal offense determined by law. Article 16, Rights to Security of Person. Every person has the security right to protection against bodily harm. Article 17, Right to Liberty. No one shall deprive of his or her liberty, except grounds of by procedure as are established by law. No person may subject to arbitrary arrest, and no person may detain without a charge or conviction against him. The security of person and liberty of every person has the inviolable and inalienable right to life. Article 18, the Prohibition against Inhuman Treatment. Everyone has the right to protection against cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. No person shall hold in slavery or servitude. Trafficking in human beings for whatever purpose is prohibited. No person shall require to perform forced or compulsory labor. Article 19, the right of persons arrested. Persons arrested have the right to be informed promptly, in a language they understand, of the reasons for their arrest and any charge against them. Persons arrested have the right to remain silent. Upon arrest, they have the right to be informed promptly, in a language they understand, that any statement they make may use as evidence against them in court. Persons arrested have the right to be brought before a court within 48 hours of their arrest. Such time shall not include the time reasonably required for the journey from the place of detention to the court. All persons appearing to a court have the right to know a quick and specific explanation of their arrest due to the alleged crime committed. All persons have an inalienable right to petition the court to order their physical release. The arresting police officer or the law enforcer fails to bring them before a court within the prescribed time and provide reasons for their arrest. Where the interest of justice requires, the court may order the arrested person to remain in custody or, when requested, remand him for a time strictly needed to carry out the necessary investigation. In determining the additional time required by the study, the court shall ensure that the responsible law enforcement authorities carry out the inquiry respecting the arrested person's right to a speedy trial. The government should not compel arrested, not be obligated to make confessions or admissions which could use in evidence against them. Any evidence obtained under coercion shall not be admissible. Persons arrested have the right to be released on bail. In exceptional circumstances prescribed by law, the court may deny bail or demand an adequate guarantee for the detained person's conditional release. Article 20, Rights of Persons Accused. Accused persons have the right to a public trial by an ordinary court of law within a reasonable time after having been charged. The court may hear cases in a closed session only to or intending to protecting the right to privacy of the parties concerned, public morals, and national security. Accused persons have the right to be informed with sufficient particulars of the charge brought against them and given the order in writing. During proceedings, accused persons have the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law, and not to be compelled to testify against themselves. Accused persons have the right to full access to any evidence presented against them, examine witnesses testifying against them, adduce or have evidence produced in their defense, and obtain the attendance of an examination of witnesses on their behalf before the court. Accused persons have the right to be represented by the legal counsel of their choice. If they do not have sufficient means to pay for it, and miscarriage of justice would provide legal representation at the province's expense. All persons have the right to appeal to a competent court against an order. They have the right to request an interpreter at the province's expense where the court proceeding conduct. Article 21, the rights of persons held in custody and convicted prisoners. All persons held in custody and persons imprisoned upon conviction and sentencing have the right to treatments respecting their human dignity. All persons shall have the opportunity to communicate with and visit their spouses or partners, close relatives, friends, religious counselors, medical doctors, and their legal counsel. Article 22, Non-Retroactivity of Criminal Law. No one shall be held guilty of any criminal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a criminal offense at the time when they committed. Nor shall a more massive penalty be imposed on any person than the applicable one. Article 23, Prohibition of Double Jeopardy. No person shall be liable to be tried or punished again for an offense for which he has already been finally convicted or acquitted by the criminal law and procedure. Article 24, Prohibition in Crime. Drink and drive are constitutionally crimes and prohibited under Ethiopian law. No smoke, no drink under 21 years old. It is constitutionally a crime and prohibited under Ethiopian law. Parents are not entitled to their children's defaulted crime unless they are involved in the same crime. All kinds of gambling in Ethiopia are prohibited, and it is the Ethiopian federal government's crime under the new constitution of Ethiopia. Article 25, Right to Honor and Reputation. Everyone has the right to respect for his human dignity, reputation, and honor. Everyone has the right to the free development of his personality in a moral, cultural, and religious manner compatible with the rights of other citizens. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person. Article 26, Right to Equality. All persons are equal before the law and entitled without any discrimination to the law's equal protection. In this respect, the law shall guarantee all persons equal and adequate security without discrimination on the grounds of social origin, color, sex, language, religion, political or another opinion, property, birth, or another status. Article 27, Right to Privacy. Everyone has the right to privacy. This right shall include the right not to be subject to searches of the home. Everyone has the right to the inviolability of his notes and correspondence, including postal letters and communications made using the telephone, telecommunications, and electronic devices. Public officials shall respect and protect these rights. No restrictions may place on the enjoyment of such rights except in compelling circumstances, and by specific laws whose purposes shall be the safeguarding of national security, or the public peace, the prevention of crimes, or the protection of health, public morality, or the rights freedoms of others. Article 28, Freedom of Religion, Belief, and Opinion. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right shall include the freedom to hold or to adopt a religion or belief of his choice, and the freedom, either individually or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in worship, observance, practice, and teaching. Without prejudice to believers may establish institutions of religious education and administration to propagate and organize their religion. No one shall be subject to coercion or other means which would restrict or prevent his freedom to hold a belief of his choice except, breaking our long-time culture because Ethiopia is a country of culture, respects Christianity and Muslims' religious beliefs equally. Parents and legal guardians have the right to bring up their children ensuring their religious and moral education in conformity with their convictions. Freedom to express or manifest one's religion or belief may be subject only to such limitations as are prescribed by law and are necessary to protect public safety, peace, health, education, public morality, or the fundamental rights and freedoms of others, and to ensure the independence of the province from religion. Article 29, Crimes against Humanity. Criminal liability of persons who commit crimes against humanity, so defined by Ethiopia's international agreements and by other laws of Ethiopia, such as genocide, summary executions, forcible disappearances, or torture. Ethiopia shall adhere to international relations in its dealings with other nations. The government of Ethiopia must promote and protect the interests of Ethiopians. The government of Ethiopia shall seek the establishment of justice and equitable international economic and social order. Ethiopia's government shall promote respect for international law, treaty obligations, and the settlement of international disputes by peaceful means and international law. The government of Ethiopia shall adhere to the principles enshrined in international organizations, international human rights treaties, the Charter of the United Nations, the Charter of the Organization of African Unity, the Commonwealth, the Treaty of the IGAD countries, and any other international organization of which Ethiopia is a member.